Hello, my name is Jennifer Hiltwine from the Center for Innovative Technology, and today I wanted to take the opportunity to review the budget and budget narrative forms for your CRCF applications. This is one of two pre-recorded webinars designed to aid applicants in this FY2014 spring solicitation. During this webinar, we'll discuss matching funds and what can be considered matching funds. In this context, we're talking about funds supplied by applicants and not the CRCF Matching Funds Program. We'll also discuss filling out the budget and budget narrative templates and a few program-specific notes. Matching funds are monies supplied by the CRCF applicant that meet or exceed the amount of funds requested for the project. The match must mirror both the total and annual amount of funds requested from CRCF. Matching funds are a required element for 3 of the 6 programs offered during this solicitation: Commercialization Program, Eminent Researcher Recruitment Program, and the Matching Funds Program. Matching funds are not required for the Facilities Enhancement Loan Program or the SBIR or STTR Matching Funds programs. For the latter, the match component is fulfilled by the SBIR or STTR award. Matching funds cannot be identified or secured after the CRCF award is made. Matches must also be active during the proposed CRCF project's period of performance. For example, if an applicant secured matching funds during a 3-year grant and are wrapping up year 1 of this award, funds already expended cannot be used as matching funds towards the CRCF project. Neither can funds that will be expended after the CRCF project's period of performance. Matches, at a minimum, must be 1-to-1. Examples of matching funds can be seen on the slide here and within the FAQs. These include labor and/or fringe, consumables, purchased equipment, federal, private, or other grants or contracts for the same work proposed in the CRCF application and aligned with the CRCF project's period of performance. Waived indirects are also acceptable sources of matching funds. You would not be asking CRCF to cover your overhead or G&A costs, but these would count towards your 1-to-1 match. In general, whatever contribution is made must be specific to the CRCF project. Funds received from CIT-VIPC funds or state contracts or grants are not eligible sources of matching funds. If you are a university applicant, however, contributing salaries or indirects, which may be state monies, are an acceptable match. The budget and budget narrative templates are within a single Excel document but appear on separate tabs. Both the budget and budget narrative must be completed and uploaded, still as a single Excel document, into your application. Templates are program-specific and are available for download from the CRCF FY2014 Spring Solicitation Program pages on CIT's website. Matching funds should be recorded and explained, as applicable, and in as much detail as possible, into both the budget and budget narrative. On the budget template, you'll see a combination of white and yellow cells. Enter data for your CRCF budget into the white cells. Yellow cells are formula-driven and locked. These cells will auto-populate based on the numbers you enter into white cells. If your CRCF project will last longer than 1 year, please contact the CRCF team at crcf@cit.org to request a multi-year budget template. Additionally, on both the budget and budget narrative tabs, don't forget to enter your CIT reference number and project title in the appropriate cells. The bottom of each budget has cells to calculate the percentage of requested CRCF funds for direct and indirect costs. For CRCF funds intended for indirect costs, such as overhead and/or G&A, enter the requested rate in the provided blanks in cells A19 and/or A20. The example of the budget shown here is for the Matching Funds Program. Be sure to consult program guidelines for specifics on completing the template, and reminder that the templates are program specific. Also, another quick reminder that each match, for those programs that require one, must equal or exceed the total amount of CRCF requested funds. To complete the budget template, note the budget categories by line and the columns for the CRCF request and match. Moving on to the budget narrative. The purpose of the budget narrative is to understand how the applicant expects to spend CRCF monies. It also identifies the source or sources, amount, and uses of matching funds. For CRCF funds intended for indirect costs, cite the requested rate or rates, your organization's approved rate or rates, and who approved your rate, for example, a federal agency. Like with the budget template, when filling out the budget narrative, enter data only in white cells. All white cells have wrap text enabled, so when submitting, make sure this is still intact and all your content is visible. This will help CRCF reviewers capture all of your information during the review process. Again, an example of the budget narrative template for the Matching Funds program can be seen here. As with the budget, templates are nearly the same for all programs with the exception of the instructions, including the requirement to explain provided matching funds. At a high level, the budget narrative should explain the columns and amount from your budget and detail what the requested CRCF funds cover. In all cases, we ask you to provide as much detail as possible about the expenditures for the proposed CRCF project. I'd like to take a couple minutes to provide some examples of what we're looking for on the budget narrative. For instance, if funds on the budget were allocated to labor, your narrative should explain who, what, and how much. Say two researchers are supported by the same CRCF project. Indicate the salary for each person, time they will spend working on the project, and in total, the amount requested for their label. Another example, if travel is anticipated for the CRCF project and you've indicated this on the budget, detail what travel might be expected, to where, how many times, the duration of each trip, and its purpose. If funds are expected for fringe, indicate the fringe rate, how you came up with this rate, and what it covers. Under consultants and subcontractors, you might put funds towards an attorney or patent filings, or a subcontractor who will process samples. In this category, explain the funds requested and what they will cover. Also indicate the location of the subcontractor or consultant. If any work will be done outside of Virginia, this must be explained and justified. Also indicate why this individual was chosen. As a final example, if CRCF monies will be directed toward equipment, describe what is being purchased and its use for the CRCF project. For a complete picture of the requirements for each CRCF program offered during this solicitation, consult the individual program guidelines. This CRCF program is just one of many offered and managed by CIT. If you'd like to learn more about our organization, these programs or services, or have a question, just let us know. We'll be happy to put you in touch with the appropriate people, or you can always check out www.cit.org for more information. If you have questions about the budget or budget narrative, or any part of the CRCF application, consult the FAQs available online. An additional webinar on completing the application is also available. If your question isn't answered in these resources, the CRCF team will be happy to assist. Please send an email to crcf@cit.org and a member of our team will get back to you. Thank you.